Hello, it's me again. Looks like we're back again, and we'll be studying King James Version. We're on 14 now, and we'll be covering the War of the King. Oh, I'm sorry, 15. We just did 14. Now we're on 15. God's covenant with Abram. God confirms His promise. So let's just dive right in and get reading to it. Now, if you ever want to, I would suggest read King James Version along with this, but sometimes it's nice just listening to somebody talk and giving their version of the King James Version. You always hear it every Sunday. You always hear their version and uh, their readings. So it's their version. The best way is for your version is to read it yourself. But it's also good to get advice because sometimes you may not understand it. It's kind of complex in what they're saying. I get that all the time, but it's pretty simple if you just give it some thought about it. You really can dive in or discover in what the Bible really has to say. So let's dive right in again and hit Genesis 15th in the King James Version. And after these things, the word of the Lord came upon Abram in his vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward. And Abram said, Lord God, why wilt thou give me, seeth I go childless, and the stewards of the house is this Erix of Damascus? And Abram said, Behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is my hearer. And behold, the word of the Lord came upon him, saying, This shall not be thy hire, but he shall come forth out of thy own bowels, shall he buy hire. And he brought him forth abroad, and said, Look now toward heaven, and tell the stars if they be able to be numbered. And he said upon him, So shall thy seed be. And he believed in the Lord, and he counted it to him for righteousness. And he said upon him, I am the Lord, and brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldeans, and give thee thy land to inherit it. And God confirms his promise. And he said, Lord God, I have known thou shalt inherit it, and he shall upon him take a hare of the 3 years, and she goats of 3 years old, and a ram of the years old, and turtle doves, a young pigeon. And he looked upon him of all these, divided them in the midst, and each piece one against another, but the birds divided he not, and the fowls came down upon the carcass, and Abram drove them away. And whoa, let's read that again. And he said, Lord, upon thee shall I not know that I shall inherit it? And he said, Let me take me a hare of the 3 year, and a she goat of 3 years, and a ram of 3 years, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon, which is 5 animals. And he took upon him and divided them in the midst, laid each piece against one. But the birds divided he not, and the fowls came down upon the carcass, and Abram drove them away. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, a great horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said upon Abram, Know of thy surely that the seed shall be stranger in the land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall affect them 400 years. In thy nation whom they shall serve I will judge, and after shall they come upon, out of great substance, and thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace, and thou shalt be buried in a good old age. But the fourth generation they shall come hither in the aquays of Armas. It is not yet for full. It came to pass, and the sun went down, and it was dark, and behold, a smoke furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. And the same day the Lord made a covenant upon Abraham unto thy seed. Have I given thy land for the river of Egypt from the greater river of Euphrates, and the Kenath, and the Hemesh, and the Chamath, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Ramahites, and the Adas, and the Canaanites, and the Gurmas, and the Jebusites. Well, this ends 15, and we'll be getting in 16 soon, and see what's going off in next chapter. So, you have a good day, and take care now. Bye.